In this video, Jordan Peterson absolutely owns this woke victim. It's crazy. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's rock.
I want to know, what is your answer to young people for some of the really big problems facing humanity, like the climate catastrophe, like economic crisis, like the precarious job market? Because they just don't, you talk all this much about individual responsibility. Most of us are never going to be able to afford to have all of these assets to have responsibility over. So what is your advice beyond banal comments like clean your room?
It's actually rather difficult to answer a question that ends with your comments are banal, politely. So, I would consider that more of an opinionated personal and political statement than actually a question. So why don't you try reformulating that so that there's an actual question there?
What is your...
Here we go. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Jordan. Let's go.
So what is your advice to young people when you talk about you need to be individually responsible, but when there are things that are so far out of our control, like climate catastrophe, like the precarious job economy, like the economic crisis?
Out of your control as you think.
What is your answer to
Do you think that you're worse off than
you
think that you're worse off than your grandparents?
I think there are different challenges.
Do you think you're worse off than your grandparents?
I think that...
Jordan, once again, we're not going to cross-examine our questioners. So try answering the question about collective responsibility on climate change, for example. Pick one part of that, because the argument, I think, is that individual responsibility does not change the climate, does not fix the problem that needs global collective responsibility. So I think that's the core of the question. Do you have...
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, taking responsibility, changing the way you live your life absolutely affects all of that. What are you talking about? That's nonsense. Come on, back to the video.
A theory about that?
Well, fundamentally, I'm a psychologist, and my experience has been that people can do a tremendous amount of good for themselves and for the people who are immediately around them by looking to their own inadequacies and their own flaws and the things that they're not doing in their lives and starting to build themselves up as more powerful individuals. And if they're capable of doing that, then they're capable of expanding their career. And if they're capable of expanding their career and their competence, then they're capable of taking their place in the community as effective leaders. And then they're capable of making wise decisions instead of unwise decisions when it comes to making collective political decisions.
Bingo.
I'm not suggesting in the least, and have never suggested, that there's no domain for social action. I'm suggesting that people who don't have their own houses in order should be very careful before they go about reorganizing the world.
Bingo.
Which happens in many ways.
Why is she not? Is she going like this because she agree, or like, oh man, I love that statement? I don't know if she's doing that or she's not, because I can't see how can you disagree with that? How? It's facts, right? Like, we have climate change, we have this, we have that, but who's causing it? It's people that are causing that. Is that just happening out of osmosis? Oh no, climate change. Oh no, the gas prices. Oh no. No, like, yes, some things we don't control as much. Absolutely, 100%. I understand that. I'm not saying we control everything. Let's not be naive. But back to the video.
Can I just to... If a young person believes that the climate, the global warming problem on the climate is something that needs to be tackled quickly, and they can't wait until they grow up and become prime ministers to do it, do you think collective responsibility overrides individual responsibility in a huge issue like that?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Okay. I think generally people have things that are more within their personal purview that are more difficult to deal with and that they're avoiding, and that generally the way they avoid them is by adopting pseudo-moralistic stances on large-scale social issues so that they look good to their friends and their neighbors. That's what it looks like.
All right, so I mean, you guys probably already know my stance. I agree with Jordan Peterson 1,000, 1 million actually percent. He's definitely 100% right. Ultimately, it's down to us to change our reality, right? Whatever we do in life, you know, happens to affect, you know, the people around us, and the people around us affect our everyday lives, right? It's a snowball effect, right? You know, that's how that works. Now, I understand that, you know, yeah, of course, you're not the president, so you can't, like, you know, affect gas prices and global warming and stuff like that. But again, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change that you want to see. In order for us to change, you know, society and things in society, we have to change. How on earth are things going to change if we all collectively don't change? Please let me know, right? So I agree with Jordan Peterson. I hear her point, but she may not think on that deep level, right? And no knock on her, right? I get it, but, you know, again, all right, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm very curious. Want to know your opinion. All right, make sure you slap the like button, kick the subscribe button for more. Until next time, peace.